Hello world, it is Tuesday, August 30th, 2022, and looking at the window at Defiance, it's kind of overcast day. I think it's trying to be nice today. Highs are supposed to be, I think, in the upper 70s, lower 80s, with some sun and perhaps some rain showers mixed, but beautiful later in the week. Cooler temperatures at night, and I'm hoping for lower humidity so we can open the windows and shut off the air conditioning. The devotion for today is entitled The Great I Am, written by Kaji Dosha. Kaji bases the devotion upon Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, New Revised Standard Version. God said to Moses, I am who I am. And then Kaji writes, families like mine teach, remember who you are and whose you are. Meanwhile, this world is designed for you to make you forget who you are as it teaches you the wrong I ams. An I am that turns into the wrong I can't imposes very limiting script on your life. I am poor, so I can't go to school was a limiting script many of our ancestors lived out. I am American, so I can't know what it means to be safe from bullets is a limiting script for many of us today. Some of these I ams, we think, some, as you can see, are forced on us with some evil you ares. You are a felon, so you can't vote. You are trans, so you can't live. You are any number of things, so you can't be part of a church. But some are personally imposed. I'm a terrible runner, so I can't sign up for that half marathon. I am awful at partnerships, so I can't commit to this person. What in your world of I ams has led you to conclude that you can't? Your I ams are faithful and true when they point you to the infinite. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am made in the image of God. When we shift our I ams into God's you ares, we remember who and whose we are. And the prayer. Help me never to forget that I am your beloved. Amen. This devotion brings up several different thoughts for me, and one is how much of who we are, or who we believe we are, not who we are, but who we believe we are, was imposed on us by what people said about us and spoke about us, and how many have had to go through so much therapy to get past that and to find out really who they are and to remember who they are and whose they are. And I think it's important, this devotion reminds me, it's important to be careful of what we say, to really be conscious of what we say to other people, especially children as they're growing up, in terms of what we're telling them who and what they are. Making sure that we don't fill them with a bunch of I can'ts, or you can't, or you're not, but instead open them to the possibilities of discovering who they are. That's the best thing that we can do for them. I also think that this devotion reminds us that we need to be careful what we say to ourselves, catch ourselves when we're negating things that we're doing or belittling things that we think we should do, making ourselves feel less than, because you don't know what you're really you could possibly do unless you try, and so often we just talk ourselves out of it, or convince ourselves that we are a certain way, when in fact we're not. And it takes a great amount of work to get back to the point where you know who you are and whose you are, and that you are loved. So I think, and as a conclusion, as Kaji concludes in her last sentence, your I ams are faithful and true when they point you to the infinite. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am made in the image of God. When we shift our I ams into God's you ares, we remember who and whose we are. So if you're feeling really down or tempted to or find yourself doing microaggressions without even realizing it that are affecting other people or yourself, take a moment and take a breath and ask yourself why you're responding that way. And then remember who you are and whose you are, and that you're loved. And then let that change or begin to change how you think about yourself and how you think about others. Hope you have a good day, and hope to talk to you again tomorrow.